Welcome, MCW fans, to another episode of Backstage Pass. I'm Tara, and I am joined here today with the lovely Melina.
Oh, it's good to be here.
Yes, you too. It's so nice to have you back in MCW, and it's been a while, so we're glad to have you here, and thank you for sitting down to chat with us.
Oh, no, it's my pleasure. It's been so long.
I know. What have you been busy doing?
Well, gosh, I'm thinking since the title and all that stuff, like we were going around the world doing a bunch of stuff, and then all of a sudden COVID hit.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's just trying to figure out, like, what do we do from here along with everybody else? And it's like, we've been very fortunate, like the whole, getting opportunities from WWE and having talks with them and things like that. It's been really good, but at the same time, I think at some point, I can't ever go back full time to wrestling.
Yeah. Are you taking some independent dates, some televised dates? What are we doing?
Not really.
No?
Like, I think MCW has been the only place, I think I've wrestled at 2 other places, and I think this might be the 3rd or 4th place I've wrestled this year, so.
Well, we feel very special.
You are! This is my home!
Well, the fans certainly love you. You had a great reception tonight here at Ladies Night, and the crowd, I'm sure you heard them, but they were thrilled that you were here. And before the show started, I actually had several fans come up to me and be like, is it okay if we move our seats over there? And I was like, well, why? You're in the front row. What difference does it make? Oh, no, we want to be where Melina comes out. And I was like, okay. And they said, when she gets in the ring. And I was like, I understand now. So they were very impressed with your athleticism. Let's just call it that way. Which actually leads me to my question. So did you have gymnastics training? Like, you were the most flexible person I know. So did you,
it's just
have
like,
any of this?
It's just weird. Sometimes things in life, this is the way I feel sometimes. Sometimes things in life, you just somehow know for whatever reason, and it just fits something. Like, it could be for studying. Like, somehow, like, some people just happen to have photographic memory, or they can read fast. Like, all these things, like, you never know the whys of it, but it just helps you in a certain area. I don't know why I'm flexible. Never took any gymnastics. I wish. That's one thing I wish. I wish I did gymnastics and ballet, but never did any of that. And I really believe it was, I don't know, just meant to incorporate in wrestling somehow.
Okay. Well, that certainly has helped you in the ring. I know Bret Hart has called you one of the best wrestlers ever, so that must be something.
Oh, incredible, especially since you grew up watching him. He's just so, say what you must, it's so weird to go from like what we had back in the day of our wrestling, like back in like 80s, 90s, and not having internet and social media. And you don't see the backstage beef or any of the other stuff. Like, it's just so crazy. And now you see things, now that there's, we have an outlet, people start saying stuff, and you never know who a person really is. So some people could hate Bret. A lot of people love him, and I love him because he is a nice person, and he does teach. He's given his life and his heart to wrestling, him and his entire family, and I have so much respect for that. And I do believe he deserves his credit. And to have him, a person that we respected, me and my brother, watching him and seeing him and just loving everything he did, have him say that means the world to me. And a lot of people won't understand, because I knew it was tough for people to like me, because, you're just a girl. You're just the girl that does the splits. It's about the psychology. It's the story. It's the heart. It's the passion. It's the hard work, because when I got there, I said hi to everybody. I didn't eat in catering. I just ran steps. I ran, and I just worked hard. I wanted to keep my conditioning. I worked hard. Nobody taught, like, people wouldn't teach me sometimes, and I had to study it on my own. They saw the hard work, and that's why they said the things that they said. They gave me the praises because of the love, because of how I did everything in my power. I wasn't standing there telling them, tell me how to choreograph something. No, I took it upon myself to learn. I did everything that I could to give the best performances that I knew I could give. And that, him saying that, I could never wrestle again, and I'll be okay.
Well, that is quite the accolade. So, and it is well earned and well deserved as well. So now, speaking of when you first came into wrestling, women's wrestling was a lot different.
Oh my goodness. So I can only imagine how it was before me. Every time I see like a wrestler from the past, I always tell them how much thank you. Like, it's weird how they don't really get people saying thank you to them. Now, like later on, it was a trend to say, oh yeah, oh yeah, thank you.
Right.
But God, how many years did it take, and how much do you really give them credit for?
Yeah.
They had to go through so much. So every time we suffered and we had our hard days, we always thought about the women of the past, because if we thought what we're going through right now is hard, they went through something tougher. They went through so much more crap. The politics, the how some men didn't even believe women had a right to be in the ring, and they treated them like crap. They told them they couldn't even be in there. Oh, you're never going to make any money. Oh, you're not good enough to be in there. You're a joke. All these things. Oh my goodness.
It was harsh. And I don't think like the diva era really helped with that. I feel like, you know, and you of course a former Divas champion, but also a women's champion. So, you know, it's difference.
A weird thing, because diva gets tied up with the model search, and that's not it. And that's the hard part, where the term diva is thought of as model days, when it wasn't even that. Well, kind of, but regardless, each woman who held that title did their best, gave it their all.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I kind of blame the divas, but it was really, you can't blame them for getting an opportunity. It's like Tough Enough. I mean, you can't blame people who did Tough Enough. Then that's what the diva search was.
Yeah, and I'm sure it rubbed some of the guys the wrong way, you know, because they would see these girls that, you know, would be model searches or whatever, and then all of a sudden they're on TV and they're doing, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, well, hey, I'm over here working really hard, and this girl, she's pretty, so now she's on TV, you know? So I'm sure that didn't help, but it's changed a lot, you know. I think it's changed at least a little.
I feel like I got a great perspective. Like, I'm never gonna change and look down on my time, because everyone's like, okay, do you wish that you were in this era because all the opportunity and da-da-da-da-da? No, I love what I went through for the fact that the perspective that I have. Because sometimes I'll meet women who have all the opportunity in the world. They're athletic, they got taught by the right schools. They just don't care about psychology. They don't have heart. They want to have everything given to them. And then I explain things to them, and it's just one ear and out the other. And I've had conversations where I'd say, I've worked with women who were models and had no wrestling ability at all. Like, they never got taught. And they worked harder and had more passion and conveyed more emotion. They were so much more into the match. Like, they were hungry and they wanted to learn so much that you cannot teach. That is just incredible. And I look at the girls who are models, and they had that heart. And it makes me sad that these ladies who have all this opportunity, have teachers and have schools, why don't you want it as much as they do?
Right.
Why are you just like waiting for your turn and want it to be given? Fight for it. Earn it. I mean, I'm not saying fight for it like, hey, stab somebody in the back or something. Like, when you've been held down and being treated like crap, you know how to fight in the sense of working hard and giving your all.
Right.
And that means so much. Like, that's when beauty happens. And when you get given something, when you earn something, it means so much. Whenever I win a match or I win a title, I remember every time I thought I was never going to make it, or this was hopeless, or, you know, I think about the times before I ever held a title or had a match at all, and what I wanted. And it makes those moments, that win, that title hold, it's everything. I'm grateful.
Yeah. Well, it definitely, I think you got started shortly after, like, I did, and so it was definitely a different era. And like, I look back on that too, where, you know, I mean, sometimes it's kind of cringy looking at like the bra and panties matches and goofy things like that, or, you know, some of the questionable storylines that probably would not fly today, like kidnapping Trish Stratus, you know.
I kind of like that one. That was good. I was like, you know, we should kidnap people that, like, more often. You know, I want to have those moments where I'm like, oh, what are you going to tell me? Your car's gone.
You know.
Call the police.
those
They take you away.
Those storylines are like fun to me. Like I look back on them and I'm like, okay, but we kind of had to do stuff like that. Like we kind of had. I mean, the guys noticed us then when we did bra and panties matches or whatever questionable things they might be. But then also, if you can get them to tune in long enough to realize that you could also wrestle, then it was like, then you got it. You know what I mean? So I kind of feel like we had to go from there to get to here, and I don't know. Like I'm okay with
I
it.
felt like we backpedaled. Like there was this, but you did what you had to do.
Yeah.
Because that's what was asked of you. Like that's what the boss wants. That's what you got to give the boss. It wasn't. It was always the weirdest thing because for me, like I never signed up for bra and panties matches.
Yeah.
I never.
Yeah.
If you. I never. It was. You guys were lucky that you even got the skirts from M&M because I hated. I never wore dresses in my life. I hated wearing skirts. I always wore pants. Never shorts. Like it was always t-shirt and pants, like jeans. Never like
I wrestled one time. My first match was in like little booty shorts, and I was like, "Yep, that'll be the last time for that." And then I went straight to pants as well. So, yep, I
and then so
completely
doing
understand.
the bra and panties, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Right.
And they were like, "You're gonna have to do it, Melina." I'm like,
I know.
Fine.
I know. I completely understand. But
you know they loved it. They're like, "Oh, look at her make that face."
I know. Well, it's great because if you're a heel, you can be like, "Oh, I hate this. This is so repulsive." So that made it more like palatable for me because I was like, "Oh, this is awful," and it was.
This is not my dream.
Right? I didn't sign up for this, but anyway, things have come, such in a different place now. Hopefully, those days are long, in the past.
Especially for me. I'm too old for this stuff.
Me neither. This is not. Although I did have a promoter call me and ask me if I'd be interested, and I was like,
Really?
I'm flattered, but
Thank you for the
rain check on that. Maybe not. But anyway, this is so nice that you sat down and joined us. I'm sure our fans will enjoy hearing this about you. And I don't want to keep you any longer, but we love you here at MCW. And please come and visit us again.
Yes, always.
How can fans get in touch with you? Are you active on social media?
Oh, I've been really bad, you guys, and I'm so sorry. I'm sure a lot of people are like, well, you haven't been tweeting. You haven't been posting on Instagram. I promise I'll start getting better. I'm at Real Melina on Twitter, at Real Melina on Instagram. I think it's, at Real Melina on YouTube.
There you go.
Real Melina.com on Facebook. And you'll find me everywhere else from those.
Okay. So that's how you can reach Melina, and she promises to get in touch with you and reply, or at least be active. So there we go. I didn't want to say you were going to reply to everybody, but you will at least be active on social media. I know, I completely get it. I'm not there either. But anyway, so thank you all for joining us on this episode of Backstage Pass. Remember to like, share, and subscribe so that you don't miss a single episode. And thank you to the lovely Melina for joining us.
Thank you.